Okay. Let's start with the very basic of Excel then. So we were at the home tab. So this is called the home tab, where you find all the sorts of alignments, font changes, conditional formatting, all sorts of formatting which you would like to do in Excel is found in the home tab. Then there's an insert tab where you will use graphs. You can use headers, footers, where you'll have equations, symbols, pivot tables, you'll see. Okay, these are different functions which Excel provides. When we have the page layout, this section is generally used for printing. We'll not use this section. We have the formulas. So here all the formulas are listed, but we do not use the listed formulas. We generally type them, but you can find a set of all the formulas present in Excel. Okay. Other than that, the formula tab is very useful for the calculation options. We have the evaluate formula section, and we have the name manager, which we'll see in the coming forward classes, how we use these functions. Then we have the data tab. In the data tab, again, we have sorting, filtering, what if analysis, which is a very, very important part of Excel. Okay. Again, review tab is something which we'll not use, and view tab is also used generally for printing and so on. Okay. The above this section is known as the quick access toolbar. This area is known as the quick access toolbar. You can customize it if you want something else also to show. Okay. Generally, I have save, undo, and redo option. I can, if I want, I can say I new. So if I click on this, the new Excel workbook will open. This is called the green tab below. The below line is called the green tab, which is again very useful. See, all these summary functions will be shown here, that whether your caps lock is on, whether your numerical lock is on, whether your scroll lock is on, average, count, minimum, maximum, sum, all these can be shown directly in the green tab without even calculating, just for a summary of your answer. And here also it will show whether the macro is running or not running, but macro is currently is not in your syllabus. We also get to see here the number of filters, records, and so on. Again, this is the page layout section, which is not needed, and this is the zoom section, which you want to zoom in or zoom out. This is the basic layout of Excel. In the file tab, you have the open, save, save as, print, close account, and you have the Excel options button where you can do all sort of changes to your default Excel. Okay, if you want your default Excel font size to be 16 and you don't want it to change it every time, and you can directly change it over here. You can include as many sheets. When you open Excel, it opens with one sheet. You can open it with 3 sheets as well, or 4 sheets as well. You can change your formulas, that whatever formulas you want to proof check, ignore words in uppercase, ignore words that contain numbers. So all these checkings you can do your save settings, that whether you want to auto recover in every 1 minute and in every 10 minutes. You have the language, currently set to English India default. If you want to change it, you can change it. We have advanced settings like date range, autocomplete, and all this is like somebody working in a corporate, maybe they would require. We generally do not change these settings on our own. We have the quick access toolbar. We have the add-ins. Add-ins you'll see in the 6th class. Currently, we're not looking at the add-ins. And then we have the trust center. Moving forward now, let's start with the very basic. The first thing which when you see a Microsoft document, what do you know about it? Copy paste. The one thing which you all have kept on doing in school is copy paste. So let's see the copy paste function. Before starting with copy paste, let me show you all a function called Randbetween. Okay. What does this Randbetween function does? It gives us any random number between a defined range. So if I give a range of 100 to 200, bottom is 100 and top is 200, it will return me any number. It will be different for you. It will be different for me. because these are random numbers and this will keep on changing as we work in Excel. So as I type in Excel, this will keep on changing. These are called volatile functions. Okay. So there are a set of volatile functions which we will do. Volatile functions. So what are volatile functions? Randbetween, day, today, and now. These are 4 volatile functions which we have. What does rand do? Rand will return any number between 0 and 1. Rand will return any number between 0 and 1. Okay, you don't have to give any argument inside rand. It is by default open and close bracket. It will return any function, any number between 0 and 1, a decimal number. This is widely used. This function is widely used in CM2 so that we can generate values from a uniform distribution, uniform 0, 1 distribution. Then we have Randbetween. Randbetween gives any integer. It will give you an integer between a range. It will never give you any decimal number. It will give you an integer between a range. So if I write Randbetween 130 to 150, it will return me an integer between this range. Today returns the current date. So again, no argument is needed. Today is just open and close brackets. So today will return you the date in the format in which your system has stored. Date in the format in which your system has stored. And now is again no argument. It will return you the date and the time of your system. Okay. Now for rand today and now. For rand today and now, these 3 values, there is no argument required. Please note there is no argument required. There's a starting bracket, there's an ending bracket, and you get the answer. Okay. Now you might ask me, ma'am, what is the purpose of rand and Randbetween? Since they keep on changing, what is the purpose? The purpose is to create a sample data set. To create any sample data set. But how do we retain the values of a sample data set? Because as we are working, this is changing. Now see, the time will also change. As I am working, these values are changing. So the sample data set will keep on changing. So how do I retain these values? These are retained using paste special. These are retained using paste special. So in general, your copy paste works as you copy a cell, you paste it, right? I copy this volatile and I paste it. What happens in a general copy paste? It will copy everything. So if I copy, suppose I take this rand, what is written? This is just text written. This is just text written. Let me format it. Control I, Control B, Control U. Okay, and there's color inside this cell, and I also give a border inside, border to this cell. Now, if I copy this and paste it over here, everything will get copy pasted from all the formatting, border, validation, whatever text is inside, everything is. But what if we want to only copy paste a portion of a cell? You only want the value, or you only want the format, or you only want the border, or you only want a particular thing to be copy pasted instead of entirely everything. Then comes paste special into the picture. Okay. So if we have to, how do we get? Suppose if I just want to copy the value. Say currently this 137 cell has a formula. I want to retain this 137 value. How will I retain this? I'll copy this cell. I'll go and I'll press Control Alt V. Control Alt V together. Control Alt V together. This will open the Paste Special dialog box for me. Okay. There you can see there are a lot of options. All formula, all means everything will get copy pasted. If you want only the formula, formula will come, only the value, only the format, and so on. So currently I need only the value. So what I'll select, see, you can see there are inside the box, there's one letter underlined. In the Paste Special dialog, if you see for all A is underlined, for formulas, F is underlined, for value. So you can press that letter and the value will come. In Excel, from the very beginning, we'll try to use shortcuts. We'll try avoiding using mouse. None of you will use mouse. Please try and use keyboard for all your values. Okay, values. See, I enter now. So maybe this over here, the value is gone. It was 137, but the value 137 is retained here without the formula. So the Paste Special dialog box helps us to retain only the properties of the cell we want. Right? We use Paste Special where we want only certain properties of the cell to get copy pasted and not all. Okay. So suppose I create a random data set like this. Randbetween 130 to 200. Okay. Now, how do you copy this? Control C. How I'm selecting the cells? Shift and arrow keys. Shift and arrow keys towards the right will select the cell. Shift and arrow keys downwards will select the cell downwards. And Control V. So see, a sample data set has been created. Now I want to retain the values of this. I'll again select this. How I've selected? Control Shift right, Control Shift down. Excel is smart enough to understand till where to select. It will select only till where the numbers are written. Okay, Control Shift right, Control Shift down. Together they will select the entire cell. I'll do Control C copy, and over that only Control Alt V. Do not remove the selection. Control Alt V values. Control Alt V values. See, all the formulas have been removed. Now only numbers are. Now these numbers won't change as I work in Excel. These numbers won't change as I. So first function we used of Excel was Randbetween to create a sample set. And then we use the Paste Special function to retain those values. Okay. Write the steps for Paste Special. Steps for Paste Special value. Number 1, copy the cells which you want to use. Copy the cells in which you want to use Paste Special. Press Control plus Alt plus V to open Paste Special dialog box. And 3, select values. This will remove the formula from the cells and retain the values. Done. Next, Paste Special operations. pay special operations. Now, for example, let us say, let me create or let me use this data set. Okay. Suppose these are random marks. Okay. Science, maths, and English. Random marks obtained by students. Okay. In some paper. Now I want to create a column to add all of this, to find a total to all of this, or maybe not a total, sorry. Now maybe I have from this marks, suddenly I got to know that there is a question in the maths paper of 5 marks which was printed wrong, and I need to give 5 to each of the students, grace 5 marks to each of the students. What is the way of increasing the marks? Create an extra column and then add this 177 plus 5. Every time I create an extra column to write this 177 plus 5 and Control D, or drag this formula down. But what is this doing? This is creating an extra column for me. Though I am getting the correct answer, but this is creating an extra column for me. It will take time. It will take extra space in my keyboard, and it might be possible that while making an entry in the report card, I might see wrong. For some students, I might take marks from here. For some, I might take marks from here. So what is the best way to do it is use the pay special operation. How do we use a pay special operation? I write this 5 in one cell, copy this cell, select all the cells where I want to add this 5. Select all the cells where I want to add this 5. Press Ctrl Alt V. Now you can see there's an operation add. I'll select add and press OK. See, all this got increased in the same column, and after that I can delete this 5 also and it will not change. I can remove this 5 also, these values will not change. This is called pay special operation. Again, doing this and showing, I'll select this, copy the 5 written in one cell, select all the cells where I want to paste it, do a pay special add. Do a pay special add and press OK. It will increase all the values from you. What are the steps to do pay special operations? Write the number in a cell. Write the number in a cell. Copy the cell. Copy the cell. Select the cells where you want to. Select the cells where you want to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Okay. Press Ctrl Alt V and select the operation. Okay. Now you all do. All of you try. Create 3 columns. Create 3 columns of random numbers. Create 3 columns of random numbers. Multiply the first column. Multiply the first column by 15. Divide second by 2. And subtract third by 10. Do these three. Which portion to show? Okay. First, you need to see. So first, you need to create a random set. Create three column of random numbers. That means you need to first create a set of random numbers. So I write Randbetween and take any range. Since I did not give you all a range, take any range. Say I'm taking from take 50 to 150. I need three columns. So I'll select towards right, select like this, select, shift and arrow keys, shift and downward keys. Okay, shift and downward keys. Control R drags the formula towards right and Control D drags the formula downwards. Control R drags the formula towards right and Control D drags the formula downwards. Now first, you need to fix these values. First, you need to fix these values. So Control C, Control Alt V, and paste special values. First step is use the paste special value. Once you have done the paste special value, now first column needs to be multiplied by 15, then divide the second by 2 and third by, subtract the third by 10. So Control C, copy 15, select all this entire cell 123 to 76, Control Shift down arrow key, Control Alt V, and multiplies M. So this gets multiplied. Okay. Then Control C, Control Alt V, I is divide. So this gets divided by 2. And Control C, Control Alt V, subtract is S, so subtracted by 10. Now do this. Now try. Kashish. Got it? Okay, try. Others, please let me know whether you all have got it or not. Okay. Arrow keys, Control C, arrow to the right, Control Shift down arrow. Select the Control Alt V. एक से select हो गया, then select multiply with M. Enter. ठीक है? It gets multiplied. Okay, let's give 1-2 more minutes for others also to get it. Next, another use of paste special, which is very, very extensively and widely used. Transpose. All of you know the meaning of transpose. In matrices in school, all of you must have done it. Rows turned into columns, column turned into rows. How do we use it? Instead of copy pasting and wasting time for each cell to change the values or typing each cell, we use the paste special transpose. Suppose I want to convert this to a row. Okay, I want to change this to a row. So I'll copy this cells. I'll copy this cell. Select the cell where I want to paste it. Okay, copy the cell. I want to paste it over here. So come to this cell. Control Alt V. Transpose C down. E. Transposes E. This changes into a row. Okay. So again, it's showing, select the cell, Control Shift down arrow key, Control C, and come here where you want to paste and Control Alt V. Transpose is down, which is E, and enter. This completes the transpose. Okay. So what are the steps? Copy the cell. Select the cell where you want to paste. Control Alt V to open the paste special dialog box. And select transpose. Okay, these are the steps for paste special transpose. Next is Skipblanks. Another use of paste special is Skipblanks. Okay, what does Skipblanks mean? Let's create two lists. List 1 and list 2. Okay, so list 1 is 1, 2. I leave a blank 4, 5. Okay, and here it is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, these are two lists and here's a blank. Now, when you copy this list, when you copy paste the list in the destination, if I copy this and paste this in the destination, what happens? I copy list 1 over list 2. What will happen? This blank will also get copy pasted. So instead of 12 now, there will be a blank. But suppose I don't want the blanks to get copy pasted. I only want the numbers to get copy pasted and let the number in the original place be as it is instead of a blank. Let the blanks not get copy pasted. Then we use the Skipblanks function. Okay. So you select the cell, Control C, select where you want to paste, Control Alt V, and Skipblanks, CB. So see, the blank did not get copy pasted, 12 remained, and others got copy pasted. This is called Skipblank function. Okay, this is called the Skipblank functions. If there are blanks, so if you might ask if there are blanks in the at same places in both the list, then the second will contain the blank at the same place. There will be no change. Okay, suppose there was a blank here itself also, and there was a blank here itself. And now I want to copy this list. Now I want to copy this list over to this. So when I copy this list and I do a Skipblanks, the blank will remain as a blank and the non-blank cell will remain as the original number. Okay, the blank will have no effect on the list. Is it clear with everybody? Skipblanks is clear with everybody? Others? Okay. Next, referencing. Next, we go to referencing. What do I mean by referencing? So the topic is referencing, but first let me introduce you how do we name the cells in Excel. So this is what you see. Let's come to the beginning, or let me open a new sheet. So you can see a A1 written over here. So basically the column is represented with alphabets and rows are represented with numbers. So column and row together makes a cell name. So A1 means this cell. B1 means this cell, B and 1. Okay. This is how you name a cell. A combination of alphabet and a number is a cell. Now, let's create a random data set again, which is say numbers 50 to 100. Okay. See, these are marks in CM1, CM2, and CS2. Okay, for particular students. Okay, these are the marks in each of the papers. Now, you want to take the total. You want to find the grand total of each of these cells or each of the students. Then how do you do it? You write an equals to. You go to the cell. How do you go to the cell? With arrows? Okay. Plus and plus. And this gets added up. And how do I drag this down? Either you can do a double click on this. Okay. You can see there's a different arrow, not this arrow. There's a highlighted arrow which comes up at the end of the box. You can double click, it gets dragged down. Or without using the mouse, it is just select the cells and Control D. Control D will drag the formula down. Okay. So this is a vertical copy paste. In a vertical copy paste, what happens? See, in a vertical copy paste, my row will change, my column names will not change. So from row 2, I am coming to row 3, row 4, row 5, but the column remains as ABC. Whereas from a horizontal change, our columns will change, but rows will remain constant. Okay. Now see, what if I copy the same formula of total from D5 to E5? I want to copy this formula from D5 to I can just do a copy paste. See what will happen? Excel will move with you. I'm initially at this position, I was at ABC. Here now it is at BCD. So the answers are not same. This answer is wrong. The Excel will copy paste exactly what you want to do, but it will move with you. Okay. So how do we fix the cells? How do we tell Excel that when I tell you not to move, don't move. When I tell you to move, only move then. You have to instruct Excel when you want to do something, you should do that way only. So how do you do that? There's something called referencing. Now there are two types of referencing. Absolute referencing and relative referencing. What does absolute referencing mean? Absolute means fixing the cell completely. Fixing the cell completely. That means it will not move. It will not move vertically or horizontally. Okay. And relative referencing means completely moving vertically or horizontally. And then we have something called mixed cell referencing. Mixed, where we can either fix the row or the column. Okay, you can either fix the row or you can fix the column, whichever you want to. So let's come to this. Write this then. Okay, now let's say I want to find the percentage of this grand total. So I know the total is what? 300. for all the papers. So I can write the grand total to be 300. Then percentage is what? This divided by this. Should I select this cell or should I write 300? Should I select the cell or should I write 300? Anybody online? Select the cell, correct. Because we should not hard code anything in Excel. Okay, you should not hard code anything. You should always select because you want the cells to be dynamic. You want the answers to be, you don't want to come and change everything in every cell every time. What happens in future? Sometimes this grand total may change to 400 or to 500 or say 200. Then you only have to change this value in this cell. You don't have to change it in every cell. So this is say 300. Now I drag this formula vertically downwards. What happened? I'm getting error. And I'm getting C percentage values more than 1. Not possible. Percentage has to be 0 to 100%. Why am I getting an error? Because as we move down D3B1, this gets multiplied by CM. This gets divided by CM2 instead of 300. So we need to fix this cell. We need to fix the cell. We need to do a referencing to this cell. How do we do referencing? We use referencing using dollar signs. Okay. So you don't want this cell to move at all, either vertically or horizontally. That means you want to do an absolute referencing to the cell. We use absolute referencing using F4. F4 function, F4 key in your keyboard. For some, it will be Fn F4. For some, it will be just F4 depending on your keyboard settings. Please see both the dollar signs, the dollar sign before the column and the dollar sign before the row means it's an absolute referencing and it will not change now. Now, if I drag down, I get the correct answer. And I can convert it to a percentage then. Okay, so this was my absolute referencing. $B, $1. When I have dollar signs on both in front of the column and in front of the row, it means we have absolute referencing. Okay, and when I have something like this, so absolute referencing is $A, $1. Relative referencing is just A1 with no dollar signs. And mixed, when you want only the column to be fixed. When you want only the column to be fixed, you write $A1. That means column will not change, but your rows can change. And when you want rows to be fixed, so you want row to be fixed, then you write $1. That means columns will change, but my row will not change. Yes, I'll repeat it once again. So basically, what happened was if I was not fixing this cell, I was taking this total to be like this and were dragging it downwards, I was getting an error and wrong values. Why? Because as I was moving down vertically downwards, Excel was also moving down vertically downwards with me. 209 by CM2 will give me a value error. So I need to fix this 300 cell because all values need to be divided by 300. So how do I fix this? I use a relative referencing. I use an absolute referencing because I don't want the cell to move at all. So I keep the $B, $B1. This will fix this cell and then I can drag down to get the correct answer. Okay. For $A, $1, we have absolute referencing. Relative referencing is just A1 when you do not fix anything. And for mixed, when you need to fix the column, you write $A1. For row to be fixed, you write $1. And shortcut for referencing is F4. So if I write, say, equals to A1, okay. If I press F4 once, it will fix both the things, column and row. Twice, it will fix the row. Thrice, it will fix the column. And fourth, again, it is back to normal. Okay. So if you do want to do an absolute referencing, you press it once. If you want to do a column referencing, row referencing, you press it twice. If you want to do a column referencing, you press it thrice. Okay. So F4 is a shortcut for referencing. Okay. Now let's do a two-way multiplication table. Let's do a two-way multiplication table. I give you all have to do this exercise. I will not do. So these are the numbers I'm giving you all. I want the answers for all of these. That means you need to multiply with 78 with 150, 78 with 40, and 78 with 69. But you can use the formula only once. You can use the formula only in this cell, and then you need to drag the formulas. Okay. Formula dragging towards right is Control R, and towards down is Control D. You can only write the formula in this cell and then drag the formula. Done. At least try, please. Others? Can you all do? Done. Okay, let me show you. So see, 78 into 150. I should get the first answer. The second answer should be what? And I drag this towards right and I drag this towards down. What should be my second value? Second value should be 78 into 40. In a two-way multiplication table, if the first is multiplied by 78 into 150, second one will be 78 into 40, but currently it is happening as 1170 into 40. This is happening as 46,800 into 60. So what is moving? I was at O3. This is becoming P3. What needs to be fixed? O needs to be fixed. Column needs to be fixed. So I will fix the column. Okay, and then I drag this towards right. Then I see I get the correct answer. Okay, now I see what mistake is going downwards. In down, when I'm coming, this 90 is getting multiplied with 11700, whereas it should have been multiplied with 150. And this is getting multiplied with 10350, where it should be multiplied with 150. What should have been fixed? Row should have been fixed. 2 should have been fixed. This 2 is becoming 3 over here, and this is becoming 4 over here. So when I move down vertically, rows change. When I move down horizontally, my columns change. Okay, just showing it from my hand. Please notice. So when I move down vertically, my rows change, and when I move down horizontally, my columns change. Okay, so when I come down 2 to 3, what I need to be fixed is row needs to be fixed. This 150, 40, 60 is written in a row. So I need to fix this row. And now when I drag this down and towards right, I get the correct answers. So I wrote formula only once. I wrote the formula only once. Okay, the column needs to be fixed and then the row needs to be fixed. Clear with everyone? Are all people attending online? Is it clear? Okay, now you will have this exercise which is available in the drive, link shared with you all. Excel class 1, if you all see. Class 1, there's an exercise there. Opening this exercise and showing you all what is there. There are 5 questions in total. 5, 6. Excuse me. These are the questions which are there. Calculate the total marks and so on. Then you have the calculate the euros and UAE dirhams with the static rates given. You have the total bonus. You have to calculate the total bonus earned for each team. You have to change the orientation from vertical to horizontal to vertical. In the table below, increase the COGS by 5% without creating a new column. And in the table, remove the profit column, remove the formulas in the profit column and keep only the values. So these are this is the homework which you all have, you all will be doing before tomorrow's class. Okay, this is before tomorrow's class. Today I'm keeping it very light. Tomorrow there'll be a long class. Okay, is that clear with everyone?